A very good morning to all the listeners. I am Dr. D. Ramesh, Head of Department, the Department of Paediatrics, Yashoda Hospitals, Secunderabad branch. Today I want to talk about the important topic on children, that is all the problems they generally face in children. More than the problems, the disease, etc. In children, I would like to broadly classify it into three categories. The direct effect of the extreme heat, it's called the LU, extreme heat in summer. Number two, the direct blast of sunlight on their faces or bodies, that is a harsh sunlight on their bodies. And number three, the problems related to the water in summer. The first thing, the direct children normally in summer, they are put in summer schools. Some of the older children, they go outside to play cricket or football in the afternoons or hide and seek or whatever it is in the villages. And sometimes you have some functions, unavoidable functions like marriages or some family functions in summer. So the small children are exposed to extreme heat. This heat, and along with the so-called wind which goes on summer, the heat with wind is called LU. So this causes a very detrimental effect on children. So what happens is the child is quickly dehydrated, and the extreme heat will cause an increase in the body temperature, the mouth dries up. So this commonly the layman calls a sunstroke. So I want the parents to know, because sunstroke in the initial stages is not dangerous, but if it progresses and you ignore the early features, it sometimes becomes dangerous and sometimes it may even kill the small baby. So how are you going to know whether your baby is going to go into a sunstroke? The first symptoms are the child who was initially happy, he'll slowly become irritable, he will start crying, or his mouth will become dry, and after some time the speech also starts getting a little slurred, slurring speech they call it. If you still ignore it, he will start sweating profusely, not the normal sweating which is saying, profuse sweating, and slowly the body temperature will go up, and then the next phase is he will start developing convulsions, extreme high temperatures like 105, 106, 107, and lastly he may go into coma, and if not revived, the child may die. So what is the basic treatment you are going to give? For example, you are outside in some function where you don't have, immediately you cannot go to the doctor. The first thing you are going to do is give him some sort of liquid, preferably water, buttermilk, some juice, something you have to make him drink, and splash some amount of cold water on the body. Previously, we used to say you put just you take out all the clothes and just splash water him, or if you got a big bucket of water, if it's a very small baby, you up to the neck you put the child in the water. So this may sometimes save the life of the child. This is as far as what it goes by the name sunstroke. Sunstroke kills almost 30,000 people in our country every year. This is a recent survey done by the Times of India, out of which 1/3 are children. So you can see almost 10,000 babies die every year due to sunstrokes in summer. 40, 42 degrees sometimes we are luckily this summer is not very, very bad for us. And next, the direct sunlight on the body. Sunlight because of the very hard sunlight, it's not good at all for our skin, because now due to, especially in this last few years, because of depletion of the ozone layer, the sunlight has become very harsh and it causes extreme tanning, and not only tanning, it causes white spots on the thing and also pigmented spots. They are called pityriasis. So sunlight, if the child has to go outside on the sun, always use sun protection creams. They are called, normally SPF 20 will be ideal for children. That's called sun protection cream. We have got SPF 20, SPF 30, SPF 40. 20 will be ideal for the sun, especially if the child is going for swimming. And the other thing is, if you are repeatedly getting exposed to sun, it is not like the old days. Later the skin can go into skin cancers also, especially this is very common in children in Australia and North America, where the ozone layer is even lesser. So this is regarding saying, and sometimes the burn is so severe, it causes burning sensation. The child will not be able to sleep also probably in the night. And lastly, the most important is water. Water during summertime, the reservoirs, the water is little less. So the chances of infections are very, very high, because children go and swim in the reservoirs, and even the pipelines sometimes they break in summer, and wherever there's a broken summer line, people, because of shortage of water, they'll get their vessels and try to catch the water near that thing. So the contamination of the water is very, very high in summers, and you get the common contamination water diseases like typhoid, cholera, gastroenteritis, and hepatitis. Hepatitis is jaundice. So you have to be careful of drinking water in summer. Preferably you boil the water, that is the safest, and again put it in your fridge or in your pots, and then you can give it, because boiled water the child may not like in summer. You can again cool it down, put it in a pot and give. In that way you will be avoiding the summer water this thing. The other thing which commonly waterborne problems in summer is the swimming pools. There is so much rush nowadays in the swimming pools, and because of water shortage, they don't change the waters also in the swimming pool very fast. They keep on adding chlorine. And a small child, they sometimes spit in the water, they sometimes pass urine also in the water. So very high chance of your child developing a very bad infection in summer from the swimming pools. And lastly, the most dangerous thing in our country is water coolers. They are called air coolers in our country. Sometimes the heat is so much in your house. Air conditioners and fans are very safe. But air coolers, for example, I would just give a general question to the parents. If it is slightly drizzling outside and it's cold, will you put a bed outside and make your baby sleep in the rain? No. Same thing is air cooler. What the air cooler does is, it has a fan in the back and it has a pump which keeps putting water in front of the fan, and the fan, it sprays that small droplets of water on you. That is what is air cooler. That's why sometimes we get very severe pneumonias in summer because of the hot weather, and you make the baby sleep in that mini rain which is caused by the air cooler. So respiratory infections and very severe respiratory infections are there. And if you don't keep changing the water in your air cooler, the water in the air cooler, because it's stored for some time, can always carry severe bacteria and other sorts of infections. So these are some of the few problems, some of the few important problems which I thought I should tell the parents to be careful in summer. So be careful, ma'am. The summer holidays originally were devised by people so that the child is not exposed outside. The 2 months in the harsh summer season, we keep the children at home. But in summer also, I agree, some of the parents, you don't have time and you cannot afford to keep the child at home because both of you are working. But don't again tax the child with this saying dance class, then skating class and summer school, and again expose the baby for this 2 months also outside. Let him enjoy, let him freak out at home. Don't expose him to the harsh sunlight and get back his immunity for these 2 months in summer. Thank you all. Keep your child safe.